Alright guys, so on the 13th of March, one of our plays on our email list was CAR, C-A-R. I put in the list, if this breaks 213.50, the targets would have been 225 and 229 for a 16-point play on CAR. So the idea behind that trade was we this was yours. So this white candle is the 11th of March. This was the weekend where I sent the email out ready for the 13th of March. So just to show you how to catch these big moves, okay? So the idea behind this was CAR broke the downtrend of that week, and we also resting upon this trend line going into the week commencing the 13th. So when the overall market was coming down, CAR caught my interest because it was showing some relative strength when everything else was red or coming down and showing weakness. So the fact this was coming up and we already broke the daily downtrend, and then we broke the significant trend line on the way up, and we was looking good. So I told the guys, if we break our 213.50 area, your target's going to be 225 and 229 for a 16-point play, which basically it done it in 2 days. But what happened here, guys, you can see it just continued to go. So if you had multiple contracts, if you had 3 contracts using and you sold 2 and secured a 16-point move, that would have been a nice play yourself. And let's just say the 3rd contract was paid for, you could have swung that contract. It ended up being an 85 point move to the upside to this 299 area before we rejected this daily downtrend line and its resistance around the 301 area. I believe we got to 299. So this was a 85 point move, guys, thereabouts. Okay, so from the initial trigger of 213.50, which you can see here, 213.50 to that 299 was a 85 point move. So this was the initial chart I sent out on the weekly email to get in at 213.50, with the targets being 255 and 229, 225 and 229, sorry. So that would have still landed you 16 points on our play. So you would have banked nice off of premiums on CAR, even if you played to those areas. But as you can see by his chart, it went a lot further and ended up giving an 85 point move. So once this broke out, guys, it broke our downtrend line, it broke the trend line and rested above it. So there was nothing technically saying this, it weren't going further. And the fact it was showing relative strength when the market was red and everything was coming down, it was just primed for a monster move. So these are the plays you want to watch out for. It was a monster move, guys. You don't need size to make cash. You don't need to put yourself at big risk on your account. If you just played 1 contract, you could have got 16 points. If you had 2 contracts, you could have banked after 16 points and let the other one run, or you could have got a further out strike after we cleared this 229 area, because we had a big gap technically, which, you know, it ended up doing and ended up in 299. So just be wary of how these move, where they're going to break out to. Identify when things are strong or weak, when the market is doing the opposite, and then just get ready to jump on these guys. Because if the market is weak and they've got a strong stock, or the market is strong and they've got a weak stock, look for these crucial areas where, you know, they can potentially pop or drop for these massive moves. I mean, we had CAR the 1 week, the week after we had AA, which are similar setups, similar ideas behind the trades, and they ended up making these monster moves. Okay, so just make sure you're ready for these guys at these levels. Make sure your chart's ready, your alert set, and then you can jump on these when they break those alerts, because when these things move, like I said, you don't need size, and you can make a massive amount of money off a relatively small position. You don't need to get multiple contracts. You don't need to put big risk out there. You just got to trust your technical analysis, trust what the price action is telling you, and then in the case of CAR, this ended up being an 85 point move. But like I said, even if it took up 16 points that week, which you done in 2 days, you would have got a nice play off it anyway. So just get ready on the weekend, guys. Look for these plays, get the setups ready, and then be patient, wait for them to materialize, wait for them to trigger, and then just jump all over them, okay?